All right, Washington State head swimming coach Russell Whitaker. A busy first month of the season for you guys. 3 straight weeks of in-season competition. But let's take a quick look back. Dominating a home meet, a home win over Northern Colorado. You guys went 13 of the 14 events last week at Give Pool. Again, let's look back. What can you take from that meet, that big win over Northern Colorado?
Yeah, I think that was a really good meet for us this early on in the year to be able to see the times that we had out of our athletes. And again, I think the confidence levels it is continuing to show now in our meets. And like what we talked about after the Fresno meet is that winning is contagious. And I think that was definitely seen by that, and especially having a good home crowd there to help cheer on the girls and everything else as well. So it was a pretty good meet for the most part. I think we can take better advantage of, our warming down and stuff after our races. I think was the bigger takeaway from this meet of making sure that we do take care of ourselves in these faster run dual meets, but especially, we had mentioned it before, but just continue to keep your head on a swivel. Again, she does such a good job at developing sprinters and swimmers there in Northern Colorado, and they definitely gave us a run for our money in quite a few events. So I think that was a good opening run for us to just see where we're at, but I think also to make sure that we're getting set up for, as we now go to Colorado for a couple of competitions this weekend. So again, overall, very happy with what we're seeing in the pool and as we're continuing to develop this early on in the year. And I think we've got, really big things ahead of us here.
We're slowly finding out. So Darcy Revitt, a freshman, win Mountain West freshman of the week and swimmer of the week after the Fresno State invite. And then last week it was Tatum Janning's turn to win a couple individual wins. What have you seen from this newcomer class? Not just those two freshmen, but what have you seen from your new class that has you excited this first month of the season?
Yeah, I think that just overall the overall energy that they bring to the team and just the excitement every single day. And I think there's nowhere to miss of, I think, the impact that the upperclassmen are having on them as well. I think that these newcomers, they understand the pressures and the privileges it is to be on this team. And I think they're definitely earning them and stuff. And so continue to give everybody a run for their money. But Darcy's doing just a phenomenal job in the pool with how she trains, how hard she works, very technical with her swimming. Tatum especially comes in and busts her butt, but especially just the attitudes that this freshman class brings. And again, just the attention to detail. Like we've got Victoria Palika from Poland, and her backstroke is starting to come along a lot better now. And so we're really excited to see, I think, if I'm looking towards, some of those newcomers of the excitement of what I'd like to see this weekend, every meet she has continued to get more and more. And so I think once we can now dial in that, that perfect race, if you will, now finally, I'm excited to see what she's going to be able to do and just continue to see how the rest of this freshman class develops. Sawyer Yana is another one who continues to impress us as a coaching staff. I think in the pool, but especially attitude-wise outside of the pool. A very positive human, very great role model, and very hardworking, just putting her head down and working, and even the upperclassmen, I know it hasn't gone unnoticed with them as well. So again, just very excited for this freshman class.
You mentioned, some of the upperclassmen. Dori Hathazi has been off to what she usually does and wins in these first couple weekends. Emily Lundgren kind of got back in the win column. I'm sure she was a little frustrated, but 3 big wins. But a couple other veterans you wanted to highlight really quick. It's Sam Crew, Emma Wright with a big individual win the other night, and then Anna Rockholtz. What have you seen from that veteran group? Not your that are trying to join Emily and Dory in the NCAA championships.
Yeah, I think that just, again, the overall positive attitudes that they bring and just making sure that they continue to be those role models for that. So Anna Rockholtz, with the meet, off to a rocky start in that 400 medley. And I think she was a 57 mid in her 100 backstroke, and she came over real quick. And we had a kind of a quick motivational chat on the side of the pool deck, and then immediately going to 56, in the individual event. And so I think for her, just seeing that you can do it and be capable of it, even if we're tired and not feeling well, but, that same philosophy all the way down with like Sam Crew, Emily Lundgren and stuff of, this week, I think being a lot more sore in the pool and stuff, but still showing, hey, you can get this stuff done when you put your head down and get after it. And so, and again, Doria Thazi, she had a very rough double compared to most people, that 200 free, 200 fly double, just having, I think, maybe 3 or 4 minutes between them. But I think a lot of it was the approach with that was definitely that the mental toughness aspect. And I think she's really gearing up for a good meet this weekend now. After preparing for that, that 200 free victory she was happy with. And obviously that 200 fly is her bread and butter. And so I think, that it was definitely on us as a staff of having that close of a double, but I think that's now, I think, for her to be able to continue to chase that, because I think it's very realistic she can handle those doubles in the future. So
we also failed to mention Ariel Wang, who's also a sophomore that's had a really good start to the season. Shifting gears, this week, another big week. You guys head to Colorado, face a good Colorado State team on Friday, and then turn around the quick turnaround against a very good Denver and Air Force 3-team meet on Saturday. So What do you want to see from your club this weekend? Hit the road again.
Yeah, I think again, just continuing to make sure that we're managing that time for warming down and just doing the right things to take care of our body. I think again, we keep telling the girls that that race isn't over until you're done warming down. So it's not just as soon as the race is done, go warm down. Make sure you are taking that mental reset to actually reflect on your races. So I think if we can continue to hammer that out, we're going to have a good meet against Colorado State, and very excited for that one. Colorado State being my alma mater being Wyoming, so it's going to be kind of fun to be competing against them again. It's not quite a border war at all, but obviously with us moving into the future Pac-12 with them and everything as well. But Woody's been a phenomenal coach. Again, he develops great swimmers there at Colorado State. And even though for, me already as a young head coach, he's already been such a great mentor for me, reaching out and checking in on us and stuff. So very excited to be able to race Woody. And then especially as we get into Denver and Air Force, it is going to be definitely going to be a tough double weekend, but that's going to just continue to prepare to set us up for our midseason and those conference championships when it is those multi-day events. So very excited. I think it is going to be a mentally taxing trip going to Colorado for it. But I think it's nothing that, if our girls do everything that they've been trained so far and everything else as well, it's nothing they can't handle.
All right, Coach Whitaker and the Cougs again go to Colorado for a Friday afternoon at Colorado State, and then Saturday morning at Denver and Air Force. So a busy week for the Cougar swimming program. Looks to keep it rolling. Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Thank you. And go Cougs.